As we inch closer to the new season, we keep getting a ton more information, either through data mines or Blizzard explicitly telling us themselves about what we can expect in this new season of Discovery. Hopefully not season of data mining, because hopefully that really did not reveal too much. But today, Blizzard and the devs released an amazing new Wowcast, basically an interview going over all things with Cataclysm as well as Season of Discovery. They also, of course, talk about the new expansions coming for retail, but we're going to talk about what the exciting things are for Season of Discovery. And my favorite one is that we might be seeing new legendaries: Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, basically the coolest weapon in the entire game ever. Is so rare, but also so exciting whenever you see it. Actually, I guess towards the end of WoW Classic, you probably saw it almost everywhere, but getting the first one on the server or just getting it early was almost a status symbol, but also just one of the coolest things that can happen in the game, and it's one of the most useful items in the game. But there's a lot of classes in World of Warcraft Classic that don't really have an opportunity to get a legendary. Well, Blizzard actually announced that they might be adding brand new legendaries into Season of Mastery. They kind of teased it a little bit, saying that they're open to adding on to all of the cool things in the game. And I think this is really showing the track record of what Blizzard is doing lately. Mainly what I mean by that is that they're listening to basically the audiences, the fans, all of us, all of you, and saying that they want to make a game that feels good, that's cool, that's fun. So they're open to the ideas that people have. And that definitely comes with making it so that people can have new legendaries. So I would highly anticipate we will have new legendaries in Season of Discovery, mainly starting from max level 60, even though we've already seen some of the epic gear that we will have at level 25. And as an example for that, you can already head to 60 upgrades and start setting up your pre-BIS lists, or whatever you think would be your BIS lists. Everything's going to change once we know what the raid loot is, but some of the legendary gear that you can get for things like leatherworking are going to be these gloves that give you hit chance, and every class can have something that's going to give you hit chance. We're getting things also like new trinkets, and from there you're pretty much going to look at whatever you can get to max out your character until you get into the raid, because the raid is going to change things quite significantly. We don't know all of the loot, but it's probably going to be pretty good. So it's going to be definitely better than most of the other things you can get in the open world. And if you remember things like servers being extremely packed, or login queues, or just having too many people around you, or just the server crashing all of the time whenever too many people are logged into the game, then you'll probably expect there to be a pretty ridiculously buggy launch, which we've mostly experienced in almost every launch in WoW Classic. But Blizzard has said that, for one, they're probably only giving us very few realms. They want only to have access to as few realms as possible, but they did add new infrastructure when they were building the hardcore realms that allow us to actually have more players on these few realms. So realms will have less of a cap on how many people can get onto the realm. Hopefully that means we won't have very many login queues, but also it means you can go on the same realm as your friends and you'll never have to worry about that. It also kind of forces everybody onto these very, very few realms. Hopefully that helps deal with faction balance. I would say though, with the way players kind of experience and play the game today, that if there are two realms and one starts looking like it's more alliance heavy, then there's probably going to be a huge shift where one will be the alliance realm and one will be the horde realm, and you'll kind of lack that world PvP that we're really, really hoping for. So hopefully there is a great amount of faction balance. And I would say with alliance druids getting wild strikes, the rune that will count as Wind Fury, this did mean that a lot of people on the horde side were worried that they would have to roll alliance because alliance are getting Wind Fury and have paladins, but Blizzard has mentioned that you won't have to worry about that at all. And they did talk about that a little bit in the interview, basically saying that you will be getting Blessing of Kings. So Blessing of Kings on horde side, which is basically going to be taking over the paladin buffs that you're getting on the alliance side, is going to be a thing that hunters will be getting. Hunters are getting a brand new aspect that will act as Blessing of Kings. So you don't don't really need to be forced or pigeonholed to playing Alliance, as well as you don't need to be forced or pigeonholed to playing any specific race. Usually you have to go humans or orcs for your weapon skill, and during the WoWcast they also talked about this, which I mentioned yesterday, that you don't need to deal with this anymore. They're looking into implementing different ways to play the game that will allow you to get those skill ups. You don't need to farm edge masters anymore. You can probably unlock a other racial. And for priests specifically, priests usually need to go dwarf to unlock Fear Ward, which is absolutely essential in raids. Blizzard has said that you will actually find ways to actually kind of go through some sort of religion or faith change that will allow you to have whatever racial is from that other spec. And that was data mined yesterday with the Secrets of Elune, Secrets of Undeath, Secrets of the Light, and Secrets of the Loa. Blizzard was then asked about the old raids. Are we going to be able to experience the old raids? And I think this was kind of like a no-brainer. We already knew for the most part that yes, we were going to be able to experience things like Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, including that with the new raids, but they're probably going to have some sort of new mechanics, things that make these raids harder. But the Scarlet Monastery raid was teased, as well as a Karazhan raid. So Blizzard did talk about how some of the raids that were potentially in the works a long time ago, or some of the things that were teased, things like the Scarlet Monastery raid. So we'll get to experience things that we know about, but there's going to be completely new content that is going to tie into the world, but it will not be something that we've experienced before in some other iteration. So get ready for this just completely new raids to be there. I'm not necessarily sure at which level brackets, but potentially even at all level brackets, but definitely at level 60. Expect there to be a ton of new content as we are discovering the world. And the last major thing I think they touched on is that people were asking about if enhanced shamans will be able to run around with a two-hander build, going for some crazy Wind Fury procs to basically one-shot people. And Blizzard did say that they are focusing on the dual wield aspect of enhanced shamans. So you're probably going to be playing, or if you're playing an enhanced shaman, you're going to be playing the dual wield spec, as well if you are going to be trying to do something like a hybrid spec, like a DPS healer. Blizzard has mentioned that they are open to it, but they most likely will not be actually like focusing on that. So if you want to be like a smite priest, then you might not see runes in the game to optimize that sort of play style. Although I'm sure there's ways we can figure things out. It looks like with the way the runes are working, we can totally be like a hybrid DPS healer all the time, or tank DPS a lot. So definitely be ready for a lot of experimentation. Definitely be ready for there not to be a meta. Be ready for discoveries. Hopefully things don't get massively data mined too much, but I'm really excited for Season of Discovery, and I hope you guys are too. And Blizzard is absolutely listening, and they've proven that recently with everything they've been saying, all of the interviews, as well as this WoWcast. So if any other info comes out, guys, I'll try to always make sure that you are up to date. So like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Love you guys, and I'll see you after the weekend.